welcome to the second edition of the Hairston News. I'm Nish Israel, your anchor, and with me is Makai Wall, our co-anchor, and our special reporters, Zarel, Kamaya, and Savon.
Hey Nish, and hello to our viewing audience. It looks like we have a lot of great stories to share with our viewers today.
Yeah, that's right. We know that sometimes students don't listen to the news on TV and there's habits. So we're going to give you a few snapshots of some of the important national and global issues.
Well, I agree that we should all stay aware of what's going on. So I believe you're going to tell us something about jobs, right?
Yes. What do you think the current unemployment rate is? Do you think it's better or worse since Donald Trump has been president? Well, let me give you facts straight from the AFL-CIO for African Americans. The rate is 14%. That means that out of every 100 African Americans who are old enough to work, 14 are not working. The rate for white Americans is 6.3%, which means that out of every 100 white Americans, 6 are not working. For Latinos, the rate is 9.8%, or out of 10 of every 100 are not working. Have these numbers gone up or down since President Trump took office? Well, the numbers actually started going down in 2010. Before 2010, the unemployment rate in our country was high as 18 or 19% in many communities who were affected by the economic crash of 2008 when the home mortgage industry offered families bad loans that caused them to lose their homes and become homeless or have to find another place to live. Finally, let me add that unemployment rates are reported in different ways. Sometimes the rates include underemployment, is having a job but it still doesn't pay enough to support your family. And now to Special Reporter Kamaya Price.
Speaking under the employment, do you remember all the storms and hurricanes that hit cities across the U.S. last year? I think the one that sticks out the most be the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico, which was hit by 2 hurricanes within 2 weeks last September. Well, it seems that the people of Puerto Rico are still suffering. Puerto Rico is not a U.S. state, but it is our territory, which means we still have a responsibility to take care of them. Before the hurricanes hit Puerto Rico, more than 3 million people there were already dealing with poverty and underemployment. After the storms, thousands were forced to leave their homes, which were destroyed by the high winds and floods. Many of these families moved to the United States, primarily to Miami, Florida. Others remained in parts of Puerto Rico where the water is still unfit for drinking and cooking. Why don't you start a conversation in your class with your friends to see what others think?
Thank you for the great report, Kamaya. And now we will turn to our special reporter, Zarel Williams.
So, recently we heard the State of the Union address by the President of the United States. This speech, as you may know, is what presidents do every year to keep the country and even the world updated on progress that has been made in our government over the last year. The President tells us how we are doing with education, taxes, defense, immigration, healthcare, the environmental, and social justice. So let's talk about some of these issues. How do you think we're doing on the topic of education? Do you think the federal government should continue to pass responsibility to individual states to decide how much money schools should get? Should the North Carolina decide how many teachers should be hired each year in each school? Should someone in Washington, D.C. set a standard of how many states will be treated equally? How many students should be in a classroom? Should every student who graduates high school have at least a C average to be guaranteed admission to a college with tuition? Should every student who graduates high school have at least a C average to be guaranteed admission to a college with tuition? Should every student who graduates high school have at least a C average to be guaranteed admission to a college with tuition? Should every student who graduates high school have at least a C average to be guaranteed admission to a college with tuition? Should every student who graduates high school have at least a C average to be guaranteed admission to a college with tuition? What about immigration? Do you think about children of illegal immigrants should be pulled out of schools in the United States and sent back to Mexico or Haiti or wherever their parents came from? DACA stands for Deferred Action of Childhood Arrival. If Congress agrees to keep DACA in progress as President Obama intended, all the actions will be delayed. What about the wall? President Donald Trump spoke in the State of the Union address about plans to build the wall to keep Mexican people from crossing the southern border. When he took office last year and said that he would see Mexican President Nieto to share the coast of the wall, well, the President of Mexico, of course, said no, so it looks as though we will still have experienced the entire expense of building a wall and measure 2,000 miles long. How much will it cost? Our president says $8 billion.
You know, Nish, I think people really fall in love with technology devices, don't you? Who doesn't love technology? We all love our cell phones, our tablets, we love Netflix, Fire Sticks, and Alexa. Alexa, tell me a really funny joke. So, did you know that technology will be changed the way you check out the grocery store even more than you know it now? So, okay, you already use the self-checkout at Walmart, right? It truly has made things better for that store. But how about this? Amazon has introduced cashier-less checkout of another sort. They set up a convenience store on the first floor of their own building in Seattle, Washington. They install hundreds of little cameras and 10 or 20 scanners. They let the employees test it out and then open to the public on Monday of last week. Here's how it works. You download the app on your device and designate a credit card on the app that will pay for your purchase. You walk through the entrance doors and scanners to the right and left of you picked up on your app, which gives Amazon's all the info that they need to record your purchase and charge your credit card. We're not sure just when these stores will come our way, but since Amazon now owns Whole Foods, I placed my bet that they are next. Does it mean we'll lose jobs? Well, probably. But you know what? It also means the creation of new technology jobs, people to build and repair the cameras and scanners.
Well, let's take a look at entertainment that I am about to bring to you. Well, I think we all knew Bruno Mars was the 24-karat magic, but now we know his star shines even brighter since he took home Album of the Year and Song of the Year. That's what I like. The Grammys Awards program last Sunday night was quite a spectacular event. In fact, it was perhaps one of the most moving and inspirational awards show ever done. So many artists shared their beliefs about what is right and wrong with our country today. They were not afraid to comment on political issues and social conditions which continue to oppress and disrespect people. We heard Camila Cabello, Sam Smith, and Pink stir the crowd with lyrics that promote unity, love, and respect. We watched an amazing performance by Kendrick Lamar that was so much more than hip-hop for the sake of entertainment. He clearly was offering a strong opinion about the use of excessive force in our country, otherwise known as police brutality. Kesha may very well be the one who stole the show with her hit titled Praying. She very effectively shined a spotlight on the Me Too movement. Do you know what the Me Too movement is all about? What about #Time's Up? Okay, so if you don't know, perhaps you should Google these and be in the know. The movement responds to a long history of abuse of all kinds directed toward women. These artists are banding together to say that it must stop now. I can tell you this, we all should care about what happens to the women in our lives. because after all, they gave us life. Janelle Monáe took the podium at the Grammys on Sunday night and said, "We come in peace, but we mean business." Well, last but not least, we have our sports reporter, Savon Cayley.
Okay, it's February 4th at 5:30 p.m. in Minneapolis, Minnesota. What's the big deal with that? Well, it's Super Bowl Sunday 2018. The Philadelphia Eagles will play who's the other team? Just joking, the New England Patriots, of course. The team that has been the Super Bowl 8 times, I think, and won 6 of those. Not bad, huh? You know, I heard a lot of people saying they are really sick of them. You know, you can't be mad at them. We always thought to work hard, right? Do our homework, right? Practice, 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 right? All of these things get you to where you want to be. So it's only fair that we apply the same thinking to this team. These guys get up early, get to the gym, work out, show up for practice on time, stay till the end, watch the videos of their opponents over and over in order to prepare to meet them on the field. So let's not hate on New England. As for the Eagles, hey, they are from the city of love. We got to give it back to them. The last time this team met the Patriots at the Super Bowl was in 2005. They did not win that one, but they seem to be fired up this time to change all of that. So I checked a few days ago on ticket price. You can actually get tickets for $35. Wow, that may be less than a homecoming ticket at NCA&T, and more expensive. Super Bowl tickets are around $300. So if you can still get a plane ticket, which will cost around $600, and you don't mind going to a city where the temperatures during the day may be as low as a minus 3 degrees, then we may see you on our TVs as we watch the game on Sunday. In any case, happy Super Bowl weekend. Back to you, Nish.
On behalf of the entire news team, I thank you for joining us and wish you a very happy Hairston Day.